What's up, everyone? It's Mohammed, your commissioner. Welcome to another weekly recap. Let's get the ball rolling here and enjoy. Let's see what happened this week in FLoSH. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome to our final FLoSH weekly recap. I decided this year what I'm going to do, instead of making a video each week for each individual playoff match, thought that'd just be a waste of time. There's only 2 matches per week, and then obviously the championship match. I just decided that I'm going to run through the playoffs with you guys and kind of what happened, the highs, the lows, and ultimately how Christian Ward ended up being our champion for the second time in FLoSH history. Truly remarkable performance from Christian this year. If you've been following these recaps, there's usually 2 reasons why Christian did well in a match, and we'll highlight that come playoff time. But before we start, I did have a quick little Q&A with... now we'll do that later. Okay. So, just to highlight, Week 15, we had 2 buys for the Bad Neighbors and Brian Verbickus being number 1 respectively on both sides of their conferences. Going into our 5 versus 4 matchup here was kind of a slaughtering. Christian Ward putting up a dominant 173 points, coming off just massive performances across this team. This is exactly what you want to see the first round of playoffs. Lamar Jackson performing at an extremely high level this game with 36 points. Even on a Derrick Henry off game, it doesn't matter. He had Chase Brown filling in real nicely in this playoffs. CeeDee Lamb, who did sit out the rest of the games, I believe, after this one, or maybe the next one. JSN, Trey McBride, DJ Moore, even the Broncos defense. Just the star-studded lineup gets the job done. And Tom Agan, the running back situation hasn't been great all season. This team at one point was a powerhouse this season, and kind of all fell apart. Yeah, 109 points in the first round of playoffs. That's not going to get the job done, especially when you're starting, Jake Ferguson and MVS in a playoff match and Tank Bigsby. It's just wasn't going to be the match for you, Tom. Credit to you, Christian, on a dominant Week 15 performance. Looking into another great matchup, Simone Lebecki and Mike Strumpfler. This had potential to be the matchup of the playoffs. 2 jam-packed, star-studded lineups. Coming off 41 points with Jared Goff, Kamara with 17, Jamar Chase with 18, Cooper Kupp disappearing in playoffs, but that's all right. You didn't need them. You had Jonnu Smith and Garrett Wilson. For Mike Strumpfler, whose team I really liked this year, Saquon had probably his lowest scoring performance of the season. Juwan Jennings busting, not in a good way, and then couldn't even salvage the performance with 32 points from BTJ. Quite the season for you, Mike Strumpfler. A lot of highs, a few lows here and there, but your team was solid. I really thought you had a chance of winning this match. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kyren and Barkley, those 2 were great draft picks this season. And, they got you here. Hang your head high. Now moving on to the semifinals here. Championship of the West, I believe. Yep, championship, West versus East. I don't know how that works, really. But we've got Christian against number 1 Brian Verbickus. And what did Christian do? He answers with the Jackson Henry show yet again, combining for 40 points. Chase Brown, doing okay. Not too bad, but great games from CeeDee Lamb and Njigba back-to-back. Even coming off a iffy game from Trey McBride. 138 points. Keeps it really close. Brian Verbickus fought till the absolute end. Coming off just a great Vikings performance all around. I mean, they combined for, over 70 fantasy points? Couldn't really ask for much more, but Joe Mixon really let you down. So did Brian Robinson Jr. Brock Bowers, you had a good team too, Brian. I mean, just looking at your bench, you had some serious guys you could have put in there and played like that. You just can't anticipate Joe Mixon going out there and putting up 8 points. And the Texans defense, questionable start against the Kansas City Chiefs, I will say. But at the end of the day, you got into your 3rd place matchup. What happened with the Bad Neighbors? Oh, just pain. Just pain. Can't even blame this one on Kyler Murray, honestly. Just not great performances from Shakir and Malik Neighbors. I mean, besides that, it was okay. It's not like we're hanging our head against this loss. We did run into Simone Lebecki, who put up 32 points with Chuba Hubbard. Jamar Chase with 22.4. The Bills' defense just ran into a good team at a bad time. Plain and simple, 140 points. If you're going to win first place, Mo, that's not how you get it done. You don't get it done with 115. Quickly highlight our third place match, if I can fucking find it. Before we go into our championship quick here. Bear with me, guys. Alright, our third place match here, which was worth, it was for some money. Brian Verbickus, another dominant performance by these damn Vikings. It's just crazy seeing a guy roster 3 Vikings players, quarterback, 2 wide receivers. It's like you're bound to connect with one of these guys. And solid performance from Brock Bowers, Tajay Spears, great pickup. But your bench fucking popped off too. McMillan, Devonta Smith, Thielen. My team had no business competing this week. Yeah, Kyler Murray, 16 is not going to get the job done. Then James Conner, what the fuck? You play 2 snaps and you go out the rest of the game? Like that's the shit that would only happen to me. Malik Neighbors with 36. Our boys fucking fought. I mean, we fucking fought. And the Colts with -4 points, having to probably be the biggest disappointment of fantasy championship. Like, in terms of defense. Like, what the fuck? You let the Giants score 45 on you. Anyways, Brian, congrats on third place. You win some money there. Not bad at all. Let me go on League Home, see if I remember how to get to the playoff bracket. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Is it under standings? Oh, here it is. And before we go into our championship matchup, you guys all know the results. I did ask Simone and Christian a few questions for Simone. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's not great quality. I wanted to send screenshots so people didn't think I made some shit up. His questions were, who do you feel was your team's personal MVP? Who is someone you will not draft again? You won second place this year. How does it feel to be in the cuck chair while Christian takes the championship home with him? Number 1, the team name says it all. Jamar Chase is his MVP. Who are people he will probably not draft again? Cooper Kupp and Goddard. Kupp was healthy he was great when he was healthy until the end of the season, and he disappeared when he needed him the most. Goddard, why even play this year? Waste of a pick. Wow. Now, in terms of the cuck chair question, it's a kind of a long response here. All right, whatever. I'm just going to read the rest of it off my phone. This is such a bad, what's it called? It's just bad job by Kamish here. So, he says, I'd like to begin with congratulating Christian on a great season. Next, I'd like to request an investigation into Derrick Henry comeback year out of nowhere, but honestly, it really stings getting so close to not even compete in the finals because your top 3 RBs didn't play and Kupp has been missing since the Bills game. Speaking of Kupp, let's get a search party together for him. Overall proud of what I accomplished this year and how I drafted, got some unlucky losses and lucky wins, then any game against Mike Strumpler is a guaranteed win, so no more of those, please. Also, pretty sure I beat Brian for the first loss of the season, so lots to be proud of. We will be back next year for sure. Did not address the cuck question, but a nice sentiment to Simone and Christian. And now I ask Christian a very similar set of questions. Same team MVP, who is someone you will not draft again? And, you won first place this year. How does it feel to be the bull while Simone is in the cuck chair while you took the championship home with you? He said his MVP this year is Lamar Jackson, allegedly deserving to be NFL MVP. He said you can include Derrick Henry in those talks too because the commissioner had a lot of negative things to say about him. And I did. Sue me. Who is someone he will not draft again next year? Anyone from the Bears. What a dumpster fire. Amen to that. Owning DJ Moore is very stressful this year. In terms of the cuck question, he says it feels great. It's not just Simone that's in the cuck chair. The entire FLoSH is in the cuck chair. This is championship number 2 for the city of Pittsburgh in the last 3 seasons. This will be the standard for years to come. Thank you all for another fun season. Way to cap it off and address the cuck situation. What happened in our coveted championship matchup? Let's start with just the Simone end of everything, and he got the bad end of the stick here. Having to start Ramondre Stevenson and Raheem Blackshear in your championship is terrifying. Your receivers did okay. I wonder if you were able to have your starting running backs, what would really happen. Like, Jamar Chase did well, Jonnu Smith, Garrett Wilson, the Bills defense. Like, it was pretty good. You put together a good roster. It's just when you have Kamara and Hubbard on your bench, who have been very good this season, especially Hubbard coming in with 32 points last game, this is the result you get, 103 points in a championship match. And for our champion, Christian Ward, a tale old as time, Jackson Henry combining for 51 points, nearly half of Simone points coming off of two players. Chase Brown, he was like 2 feet away from a touchdown, salvaging the night with 13 points. DJ Moore with a pretty shitty week. JSN with an off week. But Trey McBride catching the ball just about 12 to 13 times. That gets the job done with 30 points. And, respectable play from the defense and your kicker. Not much help from the defense. Didn't need it. Congratulations, Christian, on quite a nice payday. You probably get, a plane ride to wherever you want with that money. Not wherever you want, but within reason. And yeah, this is the end of FLoSH, guys. I will be joining you guys next year for some more recaps. I will send out the money whenever I can get a loan big enough to afford the payments this year. And for those of you guys who have not sent me money, I will be requesting that very soon. Cheers, guys. Have a happy New Year. And, hopefully you guys put this on if you're bored at New Year's. Who knows? All right, everyone. Cheers. See you guys next year and for another great season of FLoSH. Take care.